What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I am back with another video. I'm going to try to get this done relatively quickly because I got to get to bed. It is very late and I got to be up in a few hours for work. I got a long day today. If you don't know, well, check out the video I uploaded yesterday. That'll tell you a little bit. But anyway, it's called SmackDown, though. So anyway, we have part 6, Road to Revenge, the Alexa Charlotte story, Extreme Rules. Oh boy, here we go. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and streams, and make sure to use code ANJJ for $5 off on orders of $30 or more at Circuit Diecast. And let's jump into this. So we start off at week 1 and your Bianca update. At Clash in the Castle, a pissed off, now heel Bianca challenges Liv for the Raw Women's title. Bianca puts an emphasis on inflicting damage to Liv, punishing her for stealing her title in the triple threat match. At one point, Liv manages to dump Bianca over the barricade, and Rhea appears to attack her, thus allowing Liv to get a count-out victory as Bianca gets back over the barricade. Incensed, Bianca pulls Rhea over the barricade, brings her over, and puts her on the announce desk, then goes into the ring and grabs Liv before she can get out of the ring, brings her to the outside, and gets her up on her shoulders and drops Liv with the KOD on top of Rhea, which breaks the table in the process. Then re-enters the ring with the Raw Women's title as the show goes to commercial at that point. So, beyond pissed off. On SmackDown, Alexa comes out and opens by giving respect to Isla Dawn for their Clash in the Castle match, saying in part that it was merely a beginning and that she hopes to face her again soon. I take solace in knowing she is as dark and as crazy as I am, she says before switching gears to who she'll be facing in Extreme Rules. Prior to the show, it is announced that there will be a fatal four-way between Shotzi, Natalya, Indy, and Zia. Remember, Indy is on the main roster now. If you go back to the Money in the Bank video, you'll see how that happened. So the four of you who will be facing each other tonight for the right to face me at Extreme Rules, or sorry, for the right to fall to me at Extreme Rules, I will thoroughly enjoy watching you rip each other apart. Bring your intensity, bring your drive and desire. I want the winner to be the hungriest they've ever been before they enter the darkness to face me. I want the winner to feel extreme before they can be extreme. Because when you enter the darkness, my darkness, you cannot show weakness, or else. She grins madly as the lights go off, save for one spotlight which shines on her in red lighting, while her theme plays. All four combatants are shown watching the promo backstage. Shotzi in particular smiles at the challenge put forth by Alexa. Keep that in mind. Charlotte has a backstage segment with Sasha discussing how Charlotte plans on dealing with Alexa. Sasha looks visibly shaken after being attacked by Bayley and Becky at Clash in the Castle, and she jumps a bit when the duo appear. You're mine next. Or sorry, let me backtrack for a moment. I already beat you, so step aside, Charlotte tells them, mostly referring to Becky. You're mine next, Bayley responds, smiling devilishly. Charlotte shoves her and Bayley dives right at her, ensuing a brawl between them. Sasha backs off, looking rather scared, and Becky merely smiles and whispers, let her in before joining Bayley in on the attack. The fatal four-way comes before the main event. Alexa sits at ringside to watch what unfolds, and between the four competitors, Shotzi, she lays it all out. She beats the crap out of her combatants as best she can, and she ends up taking the win, pinning Natalia. And Alexa smiles devilishly herself at what she sees, and then stares her down in the ring with Shotzi pointing at Alexa's title to close out that portion of the show. We get to week 2. SmackDown arrives, and Alexa is confronted by Charlotte backstage. You're really avoiding me, aren't you? Flair says, to which Bliss responds, no, you just aren't going to get what you want so soon, and then chuckles a little bit. Bliss walks by while Flair gets mad at Alexa's response. Shotzi cuts a promo later on, all fired up from her win the week prior. She says, I've never wanted something so bad. I've worked so damn hard for this. My time is finally here. I will take that SmackDown Women's title and I will take it to levels that only I, Shotzi Blackheart, can bring it to. Charlotte comes out then and says, that's all good and well, Shotzi, but here's the thing. I should have gotten my rematch against Alexa at Clash in the Castle, but I had to face Becky instead. I'm not waiting. I will get my rematch at Extreme Rules, and I will make sure of that. Shotzi retorts, back of the line, Flair. I earned my shot, and you can back off and wait your turn like everyone else. To which Charlotte scoffs and replies, no chance, honey. The queen comes first. You earned a title shot that should not have been awarded to anyone before I get my damn hands on that bitch and finally eliminate her and that stupid doll for good. So either you can get out of my way or I'm going to make you get out of my way. Shotzi steps up, getting in Charlotte's face, and she responds by shoving Shotzi, resulting in a brawl between the two for the next couple of moments before Alexa appears on the Tron from her playground with Becky and Bayley behind her. Tisk tisk. Charlotte, 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 always trying to get her way. Let's cut to the chase. You're getting Bayley at Extreme Rules, and there's no weaseling out of it. Furthermore, your match with Bayley will be a lumberjack strap match, or lumberjill, technically speaking, but you get the point. Maybe both. To make sure that you stay in the ring more ways than one. Alexa giggles, and then slightly laughs maniacally as Bayley brings the strap into the view of the camera, to Charlotte's shock and anger. On top of that, Alexa pauses, smiles, and then the camera pans down to Sasha laying on the ground at her feet, further angering Charlotte, to which she screams, you leave her alone. And Alexa laughs before saying, your dear friend Sasha will be handcuffed and locked in a shark cage above the ring so that she can't escape and help you. Alexa laughs maniacally as Charlotte screams, you have lost your damn mind, Bliss. Alexa merely smiles at the camera and says, I never said I was finished. Now did I? Next week, you two, Charlotte and Shotzi, will face my dear friends Becky and Bayley for their women's tag team titles. I'll be taking great pleasure in watching them beat the crap out of you, but that also means you have plenty to prove. Have fun! The Tron fades as Alexa laughs again, and Charlotte takes her frustration out on Shotzi before leaving for the back. After SmackDown goes off the air, WWE posts a short video of Alexa being interviewed backstage and being asked about the match stipulations for Charlotte and Bayley's Extreme Rules Showdown, as well as next week's tag match. Alexa responds, the answer is simple. Evil invites chaos, and I love to create chaos. Charlotte will face Bayley at Extreme Rules in a chaotic match. Shotzi will have a chaotic match of her own with me. And in the end, darkness will prevail yet again. Facing Charlotte at SummerSlam was about revenge. Facing Isla at Clash of the Castle was about respect. And facing Shotzi at Extreme Rules will be about surviving the chaos. At least that's what she'll have to do. Alexa laughs a little, then finishes by saying, stay tuned, before walking off. We then get to week 3, and the tag team match between Charlotte and Sashi, Charlotte and Shotzi. Goddamn, I'm tired. And the women's tag team champions Becky and Bayley opens the show with Alexa watching beside commentary. Sasha's hiding in the back so not to have to deal with Becky and Bayley, allegedly. Charlotte looks completely disinterested in being in the match and still seething over Alexa not giving her what she wants. This puts Shotzi into a position of having to carry the match for the time being, and she does an amazing job at it, holding her own against Bayley and Becky. When Charlotte finally gets involved, however, she immediately goes to take Bayley out on the apron, but Bayley jumps off before Charlotte gets there, and Flair crashes into the corner. Becky pulls her back and hits the manhandle slam, then tags Bayley, who hits her signature elbow drop with authority, pinning Charlotte to retain. Shotzi remains on the outside, completely stunned. Alexa joins Becky and Bayley at the top of the ramp, all three holding up their belts as the lights go down to shine a red spotlight on them. Backstage, Shotzi confronts Charlotte, saying that she's got lazy and that her lack of giving a damn is going to ruin her, before storming off. And Charlotte, who gets frustrated at this point, goes to find Sasha, who's been missing the entire time. Now, you're probably wondering what the whole deal with Sasha is, pretty much by extension with Clash of the Castle. Basically, it's Alexa having Becky and Bayley beat the crap out of her and traumatize her, quote unquote, to where, well, you'll see what happens later on. It won't be this episode. Probably in the next one. Actually, no, definitely in the next one. You'll see what happens thereafter. but I can promise you this much. Sasha's going through it. She's going through a lot in this part of the booking. It's kind of crazy, actually. So then we move on to week 4. Alexa walks through the backstage area, seeing Sasha outside of Charlotte's locker room. Sasha tenses up and looks away as Alexa approaches, and Bliss merely smiles her signature smile at Banks. You only brought this upon yourself, Sasha. What is happening to you now, you could have prevented by staying out of mine and Charlotte's business, but you got involved, and now you're facing the consequences. Alexa gets a bit closer to her and then whispers, "Don't worry, though. It will all change soon enough." Alexa lets out a little chuckle, then walks off. Becky and Bailey walk by just after, and then Charlotte comes out of her locker room to see Sasha shaking, and Charlotte merely grumbles about it. Later on, Alexa comes out for a promo with Becky and Bailey behind her. Not long after she begins, however, Shotzi comes out to interrupt. "Appears I have to prove you and Charlotte that I deserve this title shot," she says while entering the ring. "You've already proven yourself to me," Alexa responds, smiling at her opponent. Shotzi stands mere feet away, and Alexa continues to smile at her. Then decides to say, "You know what? I want you to pick the stipulation for our match at Extreme Rules. You deserve as much after having to put up with Charlotte and now having to put up with me." To which Shotzi smirks and replies back, "If you insist, at Extreme Rules, I will showcase to you what it means to be extreme. Therefore, we will engage in a weaponized ladder match for your SmackDown Women's title." Basically, just you have weapons all over the goddamn place. And then, of course, the ladders. The crowd goes nuts, and Alexa smiles devilishly at Shotzi. When all is said and done, we will be battered, hurt, and broken, but only one of us will be walking away with that title, and I promise you it won't be you walking away with it. I'm taking that title from you one way or the damn other, which is what Shotzi said. She then gets in Alexa's face, and Alexa merely responds, "We'll see about that," before smiling again. Charlotte is interviewed shortly thereafter and says that she will have more to say to Alexa and Shotzi before Extreme Rules, and then just storms off. That's it. So, the aforementioned Charlotte Flair opens the final week SmackDown before Extreme Rules, with a promo with Sasha standing near one of the corners of the ring, declaring that regardless of what happens at Extreme Rules, she will have next at the SmackDown Women's title. "I'm done waiting. I'm done playing these games," Charlotte says. "Alexa, Shotzi, it doesn't matter. I'm taking that title back." Shotzi comes out and squares up to Charlotte and says, "You are nothing but a disrespectful, self-concerned bitch with no regard for anyone else but yourself. You will not take away from my match, and you sure as hell won't be taking that title away from you when I win it. Not if, when. Now stand back and stand down, bitch." Charlotte goes to shove Shotzi, but as she does, the lights go out. When they come back up, Shotzi's disappeared, and then right thereafter, Sasha gets pulled into the ring from below. Charlotte turns and tries to grab her, but she gets pulled under the ring too fast by, of course, Becky and Bailey. "How does it feel to not be in control?" Alexa says, standing behind Charlotte now. Alexa gives off her evil laugh, and then the lights go out again. Upon coming back up, Charlotte's the only one in the ring, and she looks around furious, screaming Alexa's name and screaming that she will get her once and for all. Charlotte gets asked about what happened in the ring later on in a backstage interview, and she replies simply, "I did what I had to do, and Alexa took care of the rest under her own accord. Tomorrow night at Extreme Rules, I will be defeating her for that title. You shall see." So now we get to Extreme Rules. Charlotte and Bailey's lumberjack strap match opens the show. Sasha is put in the shark cage and is handcuffed, and said cage is hoisted above the ring. Charlotte and Bailey have the strap put on, and the match begins. And Bailey utilizes the stipulation to perfection for the most part, as she brutalizes Charlotte, and the latter has to fight to get offense in. Eventually, Charlotte gains the upper hand, but Bailey returns to brutalizing her soon enough. And a shaken up Sasha watches from the cage above as Charlotte regains offensive attack against Bailey, sustaining it as long as she can, aggressively working Bailey around the ring. Then, near the end of the match, Sasha, though she is still handcuffed, She reaches into her back pocket, gets something out, and somehow manages to get it through the bars just enough that Charlotte can grab it while the ref and Bayley are not paying attention. And then Charlotte takes it through the cage, probably a pair of brass knuckles or something of the sort, and uses them to knock Bayley down hard. Then, as Bayley gets up, she hits natural selection, and then Charlotte spears her for the W. She goes to retrieve Sasha, but gets shoved out of the way as Becky and shortly thereafter Bayley bring the cage down and attack Sasha again before leaving her to Charlotte. Where does this lead? You will see next time in part 7, which will be Extreme Rules. Yay. Or sorry, not Extreme Rules. Uh Crown Jewel, my bad. You know what I meant. Alexa versus Shotzi is the precursor to the main event. Ladders and weapons are set up all over the place, and once the match begins, Alexa and Shotzi engage in a full-on brawl between each other. As Shotzi had promised, her and Alexa brutalize each other, utilizing the ladders, kendo sticks, a couple of tables, and a crap load more. They just beat the living hell out of each other. Both of them end up bleeding as a result. Not too bad, but it happens. Near the end of the match, Alexa hits Twisted Bliss off a ladder onto a table on the outside where Shotzi is laid upon. Alexa then has to crawl back to the ring, and once she gets back in the rope, she smiles and laughs as Shotzi remains on the outside. Shotzi begins to stir, but Alexa climbs the ladder, grabbing her title and giving no chance to Shotzi to try and get back to her beforehand. She sits at the top of the ladder and laughs evilly as a red spotlight shines onto her before the camera fades out to commercial. Once again, Alexa successfully defended her title. And now we go into Crown Jewel with a very interesting situation. Do I have her defend the title at Crown Jewel? Or do I wait until Survivor Series? You'll see. With that being said, though, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and streams, and make sure to use code ANJJ for $5 off on orders of $30 or more at Circuit Diecast. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.